Trips Awakening, y'all will feel my ancient signals. One within the universe, and the universe is inside of me. Some of y'all are setting yourself up, some of you earthlings. You know, you give your energy to these Muppets. You know, I see all over social media, off social media, you know, how are these Muppets exposing the system when they already created a lot of this stuff in the illusion by using y'all's DNA? And so how are these Muppets exposing the system? Y'all up here saying, oh, it's a hidden message. Like, for example, what's his name? Donald Duck, Donald Glover, Danny Glover, what do they call himself? Childish Bingo, B-I-N-G-O, Bingo, what's his name? Oh, whatever he call his damn self. Y'all get what I'm saying. How was he exposing the system? Oh, let me tell y'all this. Oh, Solo's coming out. You know, y'all know I like Star Wars or whatever, Marvel Comics. But the movie Solo get ready to drop in 2 weeks. So yeah, he made that scene, and they play y'all on so many different levels. It's like they want to promote their project or music so they can cast more spells and take y'all's energy on so many different levels. You know, in that video, they basically, you know, giving each other subliminal messages. You know, nobody's not exposing nothing. They're just throwing it in y'all's face. Yeah, we're going to do this and that. You know, so, and you know, some of y'all was like calling Kanye names and all of that stuff. And I said, yeah, I agree with them, because I said this stuff 4 or 5 years ago. And I even said 4 or 5 years ago on my old channel, I said, some of the stuff that I'm telling y'all, the celebrity's going to tell y'all what I'm putting out there. But they're going to twist it just a little bit with a lie attached to it and a spell. See, they say certain things and do certain codes to throw y'all off. And y'all don't see that. You know, and then y'all up here saying, oh, Kanye, he's a musical genius. And they already got these Muppets set up to control y'all's frequency. You know, especially our shade. Y'all be going for everything, you know, crying and whining and stuff. And getting into your feelings over something that's not yours. You know, y'all calling him a musical genius. You know, he sampled music. You know, and half of them got ghostwriters. And use y'all's energy and y'all's DNA. So and half of these artists, they don't create music. They ain't like a live band or do their own music and stuff like that. Like, I mean, these rappers, y'all call them the great this one, great that one. They're not great. You know, they're not great. They taking y'all's energy and casting spells on y'all on so many different levels. You know, and then you got like Chance the Rapper. Y'all think that, oh, they for y'all. These Muppets not for y'all. They don't care about like J. Coleslaw. And they don't care nothing about y'all. But y'all think, oh, they conscious or they expose and they're doing this. They're not doing nothing. These Muppets are doing their job, giving y'all the corny ass Muppet show. That's basically what they are doing. You know, and y'all going for it. Y'all want to argue and do the comparison. Let's rewind. You know, rewind things like decades ago, back in your grandparents or your great grandparents. See, they set them up, and some of them wasn't on that high frequency. Okay, they weren't there. Okay, and like I said, who controls the radio station and this cue box? You know, you had certain individuals like, you know, Martin Luther King, and that's not even his real name. And, you know, people like Malcolm X, you know, like, and Jesse Jackson, these boule celebrities and stuff. And they was controlling y'all's frequency. And y'all always think these certain individuals are for y'all and they're not for y'all. Like, for example, like some of y'all's relatives are connected to the society groups. When you hear certain stories like certain individuals are missing, I'm going to tell y'all how they play the game. And I see and feel this on a spiritual level. I'm going to tell y'all how they play y'all, and how they played your grandparents and your great-grandparents. So, some come missing, and so they create this story like saying like, oh, well, the other shade, they lynched them and stuff, and they play y'all. And it could be your own relatives, and they all get together. You know, you got certain creatures and certain beings pledge and do certain things, do certain rituals, go mess up certain communities because there's certain energy. So they make up all of this mess, and they got your grandparents and them subconscious set backwards. They make up all of this mess to control y'all's frequency. You know, like they try to act like, you know, put the, you know, certain shades against each other. And, you know, and these negative beings are controlling them, and y'all destroying yourself, and the generation before y'all destroyed their self by going for the lies and stuff on the cue box in the radio station. You know, a certain energy and stuff, and they want to take over to build on, to add on to the illusion. You know, steal y'all's DNA. Just like when I said a long time ago, did a video like the Jack the Ripper. You know, when I said basically it wasn't nothing but probably some Freemasons or one of these Zionist Jews or Shriners or whatever, basically going through the community, snatching certain individuals up and then put it on one of their Muppets, like George Zimmerman. You know, like they'll use their Muppets to control y'all's frequency, and y'all don't see what's going on, and this has been going on for decades. Y'all don't think they was playing your great-grandparents and them back in the day? They was playing them too, and it still goes on. You know, it's still going on. And y'all be getting into y'all's feelings about the wrong thing, about these so-called lynching. Like just here recently, everybody's like, oh, well, the Kanye West crying and whining, saying, well, the Kanye West and the Bill Cosby was a distraction because of the lynching and outside of Alabama. Okay, and people was posting it all on the timeline. I seen this mess. And, of course, the numbers, the 21, and I talked about this, y'all, okay? And I said this before, like, you know, anytime you watch one of these setup videos, like these fake police brutality videos, because they're nothing but actors, not to get off topic, but when you see certain videos, they always take the camera, and I even, you know, showed y'all how they did it. They take the camera, and they'll put it on a certain individual while they're arguing, and then move the camera to the side, and then next thing you know, you see the victim and them on the ground. I guarantee you every video, you know, like, of course they run social media, so they put certain videos to mess with y'all's subconscious. You know, and they're actors. They, you know, they can choke somebody and they can, like, be dramatic and cough. They're nothing but actors. But anyway, you know, they said that 2 21-year-olds got lynched. Now, and I'm like, okay, how did they, for one, how did they get lynched? You know, then I heard the story. They said that they went to go meet somebody and they got shot, and somebody took their clothes off or whatever and put a rock on their body and so they could sink in the river. How's that lynching? You know, like they controlling y'all's frequency on so many levels. Y'all don't think they got the Muppets celebrities distracting y'all, and then they got these black power Muppets like Sean Queen, that y'all call him Sean King, controlling y'all's frequency, and other Muppets out there controlling y'all, you know, making up these stories. There's a lot of things going on in the community. You know, yes, it's killings and all of that stuff, but the news is not reporting it. They're reporting their Muppets, and, certain individuals, they're actors. Like, oh, crying and stuff, and you don't see no tears when they say, oh, well, this was my son or this was my daughter, this and that, and they act it out. They're nothing, but they're all connected together. They're plugged in to control y'all's frequency. And I talked about this before, some of this. But, like I said, it goes back to the Jack the Ripper. Basically, they said they never find out who it was. That was to scare certain individuals, but they were snatching up bodies, doing rituals, taking them to the woods and doing sick things. Like the Bohemian. Certain things like these corporations. So just to put that out there. But, they're controlling y'all's frequency. And they setting certain things up. And then some of y'all want to compare like the Cosby and Weinstein or Dirty Glass Wine, whatever y'all want to call these Muppets. But when it comes to that, that's like I said, let's rewind time some more. Like with the Bible, and I said this before, like the books of spells. They said that, this illusion, fake, fictional Jesus character was brown skinned, but the paintings was the other shade. Like the paintings was the other shade, and then you find out, then they were saying, oh, well, this certain individual Jesus character was some gay character, some mess. Like this was like a long time ago when I read up on it, like 10 or 20 years ago. When I knew this, it was illusion and stuff like that. But like, I don't research nothing, but I read certain things, but I don't, that research and mess, I ain't getting ready to do all of that. Like, research yourself. But a lot of y'all chasing these distractions and stuff, but they played y'all on so many different levels. And that's basically what they're doing with the Bill Cosby, and when they put memes and stuff saying, oh, well, they let this individual get off, but they didn't let the other shade get off. They let the other shade get off, like back and forth with the colors and all of that crazy stuff. There ain't no such thing as colors. You know what I'm saying? They controlling y'all with the colors, using the color frequency. They're controlling y'all with that. So, they're not exposing anything. And you got certain individuals like, oh, let's keep our money in the black community. Y'all sound like some fools. Like, for real. Like, you don't print the money, and I said this before. So, and then some of y'all, like, be contradicting yourself. Like, saying, like, well, I'm going to support, black-owned. And then, oh, well, I go to Walmart and stuff like that. Yeah, you sound real stupid. Like I said, y'all do all of that, running your mouth on social media, allowing social media to control your frequency. And then, and y'all not going to do anything. You're just talking. You're basically casting spells on you and your loved ones. And y'all, it's like, y'all argue over some silly stuff that's not yours. This mess is not yours. And then y'all want to blame the other shade. And it's creatures that's our shade that's controlling the earthling's frequency. And like I said, y'all destroying each other. Y'all destroying each other. Because you go by these Muppets like TV1 and them, saying certain things. And let's talk about how else they set certain things out. I mean, my apologies, how they set certain things up. Anytime, like, for example, they'd be like, well, the victim was 13. Or they'll say, like, they 13 of age or something like that. That's basically a code word. Or they say, oh, well, 6. Or, like, for example, they'll say, back in 67, 67 equals up to 13 and stuff. Like, they use, like, 13. Just like, for example, I got to do a video on what I'm about to put out, but I give y'all a preview. Like, how they use, like, for example, PG-13. Like 13 doors. Or, you know, like I said, in movies like the 13, and I talked about it a little bit, and then you got like, you know, like rated X, you know, and or rated G, you know, and y'all know what G stands for in the middle of the Masonic symbol. I could break that down and stuff. Rated G, you know, a certain negative forces, you know, using comedic spells on y'all, you know, and they can't control certain energies, you know, because they're getting destroyed on so many different levels. They're getting destroyed by my signals and other signals from other worlds. You know, so they use certain spells on y'all. Y'all go for it. Y'all arguing over something that's not yours. And y'all go for these setup. And y'all don't take time. I said this so many times. Y'all don't take time to see if you want to do your so-called research, which I say, you don't know these individuals. You know, they're basically pulling a Machiavelli. Yeah, since y'all want to do some research or whatever, look up for the death certificate, the name. It's not going to be there. Like I said, there's a lot of shooting and killings going on. The news don't report that. Like I said, if it's one of your loved ones got shot or whatever, if something happened to one of them, the local news will talk about it for 2 or 3 seconds, and that's it. You know, and they've been playing y'all with these fake videos and stuff like that. And I talked about this before. And a lot of y'all just destroying yourself. You're setting yourself up. You know, you can't blame no one but yourself. You know, like I said, this is nothing but entertainment. You know, thinking these Muppets out here like, oh, well, they looking out for us. They exposing the government. They exposing the system. And, oh, Illuminati mess and all of that crazy stuff. You know, Illuminati's been gone. Ain't no Illuminati. And y'all got these fake truther channels and stuff. You know, some of them, they're agents. They with the Freemasons and stuff. They playing y'all, and they use these biblical characters and stuff. And y'all go for all of this mess. You destroying yourself. You got like over like probably 1 million negative things around you that's controlling your frequency. You know, some of y'all's relatives could be one of these creatures. Y'all could be, you know, some of y'all might not be earthlings, and I ain't trying to freak y'all out. Some of y'all your bloodline could be mixed with some of theirs, and they'll sacrifice their own. They don't care. They'll sacrifice their own. You know, some of y'all, some of your members, y'all probably thought that, oh, well, this happened to, you know, one of your relatives, and one of your so-called loved ones or part of the society group probably injected them with something, you know, or could do anything. That's the reason why I said some of your relatives, you gotta watch out for some of them. You know, it's like the negative forces got it set up on so many different levels to mess y'all up. You could have, or when certain individuals come missing, some of these society, one of your relatives, I bet you they know what really happened, but they're not going to come out and say anything because they're doing rituals so they can gain more power in this illusion money. You know, like when you hear certain individuals, they do their little rituals and then they blame it on the other shade, or well, it's mostly our shade. You know, y'all fall for it. They'll say, or some victims do get sacrificed, but they'll use these actors and try to make it like it's them, but it's not them. They're using someone, you know, they just basically using these actors that you see on this cube box, and nothing is not happening, and y'all posting rest in peace and all of that stuff. Certain relatives probably are getting sacrificed. You know, like, and y'all don't know what's going on. That's the reason why I say turn y'all's frequency up. That's why I put out certain things and share my frequency and my signals to y'all so y'all can be aware, so y'all can see what I see. You know, like, y'all think, you know, these Muppets that I name, you know, put out there, you think they for y'all and they're not exposing nothing. And y'all want to give them credit. Y'all want to give someone else credit. And they stealing your credit. Stealing your soul and your energy. And y'all think, oh, it's hidden messages and all of that stuff. Like I said, they ain't doing nothing but promoting spells. Y'all buy the spells with this illusion money and poison yourself. Y'all don't see what's going on. You know, and like I said, they sign contracts and oaths. They can only say certain things. And then they, like I said, they put their fake conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones with his goofy looking ass. You know, like they'll put like certain individuals like him out there. You know, like, oh, this and that. Like they make up stories to control y'all's frequency. They use the fear tactics and, you know, and use your emotion. Say certain things, use certain colors. And y'all can't decode certain things. Y'all, some of y'all don't know the codes that they use. I know exactly what they're talking about. And I see, like I said, I'm ahead of them. And y'all need to get ahead of them. What? Did somebody say something?